Ready. Set.
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready, Set, Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and the secret door. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the host of Ready, Set, Gamecast, Matt.
I'm a host now, yeah.
And the other host of Ready, Set, Gamecast, Darian.
Hello, it's me, Darian.
Hello.
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 This brings us to what have you been playing? Darian, you're first on the list.
Wow, here I am. And 90% of what I've been playing is Animal Crossing.
I'm pretty sure that's factual for everyone here and in the world that
Perfect.
exists. I think, I have seen major the New York Times, I think, has published an article of, Animal Crossing is the perfect game for the quarantine. And people are like, what? What is any of this?
What you been up to in Animal Crossing?
Yeah. Have you been playing every day?
Yeah. Every day at least a little bit.
Are you reaching a point where you're starting to fall off? Because I think I'm reaching that point because I just paid off fully paid off my house loan. And now I'm kind of at the deal of okay, the house loan is a nice thing because you have a very clear of I know how to achieve this goal. Just get money, give to Tom Nook, did it. The next real goal would be, I guess you got two goals that you can really do is that complete the museum, but that's literally going to take you all year. And the other one that you can work on right now is to get a 5-star island. But the how to achieve that's a little vague. So that one's a little bit more confusing. So right now my goal with it is to just kind of remake my island, but that can be such a slow process. So where are you in terms of what you're doing in the game, Darian?
Well, I got credits and cried really a lot, very much.
So KK came to town.
KK Slider came to town.
Yeah.
I really
and
like
I cried a lot.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think I was just having a really bad mental health day, and I opened the game, and Isabel just goes, "Hey, we have a special surprise," and I was just like, "No, I didn't want this."
I wished that it was going to be a thing of KK came to town, but he would actually play at night.
If you open the game for the first time at night,
yeah,
you will.
but I got to check
Mine was 8 a.m.
Yeah, same, because I was just doing my wake up before work, check my turn up prices, and then go to work, and it's hey, KK is here, so it's I need to go I got stuff to do.
I don't have time for this, KK.
Yeah, so it very much, I did not have the great hey, I completed the story that I wanted. Also, I want to get rid of the clown. Pytro needs to go.
Still can't. 2 weeks ago, that was your goal, so
okay.
You failed.
That's how I feel about Annabelle.
Oh, see, I didn't like Annabelle as well, but she actually left pretty quickly, and Aaron took her.
Aaron, you can have a second Annabelle. I hate her. I hate her so much.
Who did you have as your first camper?
Ugh, his name is O'Hare.
Oh,
He's
no.
a little brown bunny.
Okay, sorry.
Remember.
I had Annalise, not Annabelle. There's too many Annas.
Oh. Yeah, Annabelle is an anteater, and she's an aspiring pop star.
I know her.
Yeah, mine
she's
is
a little yellow anteater.
Mine
I don't even know.
Mine's an anteater as well. She wears a kimono. Annalise.
Oh wait,
She
maybe
wears
I know Annalise. Darn, I don't know which one I know now.
Okay.
I visited an island, a friend's island, and that's how I met her. She doesn't live on my island.
But yeah, so I woke up, got the KK thing, and frickin' Pytro was still there. So I was like, I wanted to have this glorious event with all my friends and not you, and I couldn't get rid of him. But I think the reason that was because I'd heard ignore him for a week and they'll leave. And so I'd done that, and after a week, he's still here. And I was like, huh, I've never actually spoken to Pytro. Maybe I have to interact with him once for the countdown to start. And so I went to talk to him, and he's like, hi, I just moved to town. Remember me?
Hi, I'm the worst thing that's ever happened to you, Bryce.
So I'm wondering if,
welcome to your nightmare.
I wonder if I had to interact with him at least once for the countdown to start. But
wait, how did you get him?
Your very first camper. You're forced to take your very first camper.
Oh, yeah, I found that out the hard way. I left O'Hare in there for 3 days, and I was like, this motherfucker's never going to leave, is he?
Yeah, I left Pytro in there for 2 days, and then I was like, why is he still here? And I looked it up, and it was like, you have to. Why would they? I don't understand the thinking on that. Why would they force a villager on you?
I mean,
I don't know.
They do that anyway with your first two.
Sure,
and
but
then,
they gotta populate with some too. So
did you take the first 3 you got on Nook Miles trips?
I did.
I
didn't know any better.
I took Annalise from a Nook Miles trip just because I was like, well, I have to. And then I found the very best villager, which we'll cover later. And then after that, which after I got Annalise, I was a little bit more selective. I was like, okay, let me look around a little bit. By that time, the third house filled automatically. I didn't pick those out because
interesting.
I didn't.
That just sold.
Yeah, that just sold to a person, which I got Sprinkle from that, and I'm actually happy with that.
I love Sprinkle, but now I won't put her on my island because I know that she's on yours, and it ruins the immersion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, both me and my girlfriend have Pytro. We both got Pytro from the camper.
Oh God, I'm never visiting your island.
No.
But
I don't want that guy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's how that works, but. It's also weird. Yeah, it's weird when you go to somebody else's island and it's the same person and they're like, "Oh, nice to meet you for the first time." It's like, I know you. I'm convinced that everybody's island is like an alternate dimension, and thus explaining why there's Tom Nooks and same villagers everywhere. Like you're some sort of dimension hopper.
If you talk to Tom Nook, does he know? And you're on someone else's island. He's aware.
I think he's just, nice of you to visit our island from this other island. He doesn't address that,
okay,
you are from. They all address that you've come from a different island, but they don't address that they are also at that island.
Right. Huh. My first camper, I did process of elimination in my mind. It was Colton.
Okay.
And he's a white horse with a golden mane, and he wears a little hero outfit with a red cape. And he's pretty classy in his house.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys know that? So the first 2 villagers you get, their houses will never get better than they started. They'll just be that basic kind of deal. Then the next 3 that you get that you build their houses and place their furniture and stuff, they'll have gendered houses where the girls will have little cutesy ones and the boys will have dirt floors or whatever.
Okay.
I got the boy I got has a lazy personality, so that actually kind of works for his aesthetic. But then everybody after that, starting from your first camper onward, has personalized houses to their character.
Okay, yeah.
And so it kind of sucks. Your original characters aren't going to have as interesting as houses as your later characters.
I didn't know that, but I feel bad because Agnes is one of my first campers, and she's been talking about her house and how simple it is lately. She's like, "Oh, I know it's not much, but I get by." She's been saying things like that constantly.
That's weird because so my starters were Pashmina and Rowan, and I think Rowan has the most unique, or I guess the second most unique house on my island. Phoebe moved into a house that was owned by one of my previous villagers who I got to go away. I didn't mean to, but when she asked, she was like, "Oh, should I leave?" I was like, yeah, sure, I don't like you
Yeah,
that
why
much.
not?
Get out of here.
Yeah. That's what I did too.
She moved into her house, and so the outside looks the same, but the inside is really cool.
Yeah.
But Rowan's house is really, really different from other people's.
Well, I don't know if they're like their furnitures might be some. They're gonna have probably basic. I know that they like start with they'll still have their sleeping bags unless you give them a bed. But like Mira, she'll have like woodblock furniture and stuff, but they don't have different wallpaper or flooring. They just have the basic ones and stuff. Whereas like every one of my later ones have like very specific wallpapers, very specific items. Like,
yeah, I have Vic, who's a Viking, and he's got like the ship floor, and then he's got like the sea view sky as his wallpaper, and all his stuff is kind of like ship themed.
Cute.
I have Ralph, and his aesthetic is actually like camping, and I was like, dude, it would make more sense for you to come early, and because that would be your
plaid
thing.
wearing frog or penguin.
No, he's
That's rolled, right?
Rolled.
Yeah. Rolf is a cranky tiger looking dude.
Oh,
He's like a big white tiger.
Do you know if I'm at my last plot? Like, you know how you expand by buying plots from Tom Nook?
Yeah, you can get 10
You get 10, yeah. He told me, okay, this is going to be the last one. Which, first of all, I think I have room for at least 2 more. But I guess that's not the case. But if I go on Nook Miles trips, will I see villagers again? Because I haven't done that.
If you have a plot down open, then you can find villagers until that fills up. So that's what I'll do when I place a plot. I'll just start going on trips until I find somebody.
I should have done that then. I still have time for this one, but previously I should have done that.
Yeah,
y'all should just have gotten amiibo cards so that you had
because
enough
they're
to choose from.
they're just so easy to get,
Well, I just mean you should have known
5 years ago
they were prominent that you needed them. You should have been an active player in New Leaf and have bought enough of them that you feel stupid about it.
Well, I was
so that you can hand pick your favorite. I've gotten 2 from my cards so far. I invited this one called this is Phoebe. I brought her.
Oh, I like her.
She's great.
All the ostriches seem to have really cool looks.
And I also got Pico.
Okay.
She's so cute. I love her. I have an Agnes card and a Sprinkle card.
I love Agnes. She's so sassy.
She's really cute. And then this is Kid Cat. I invited him. He loves working out, and I hate that. I have too many villagers on my island that love working out.
Love working out?
No, there's the jock personality is the ones that work with. But I do see a lot of...
I have 3 jocks.
I do.
I hate them.
It seems like a lot of people on my island I'll see working out, everyone except for the like one with a lazy personality. Everybody else at some point or another will like be lifting shit. And it's like, is this because of the jock? Is he like rubbing off on you guys or what's happening?
So funny story, actually. I went into one of my villagers' houses the other day because like he was sleeping all day and then all of a sudden he was awake. So I went into his house and one of my other villagers was also there, which was super weird. Like, what's going on in there? And then so the villager who was the guest, I talked to him first. He was like, yo, I love hanging out. It's super chill here. And like this villager's house is like a gym. He's got like a wrestling ring and like an exercise bike and just like the whole 9 yards. And then I went over and talked to him and the guest was a lazy personality type. And I walked over to the jock, his house. His name is Rooney. He's a kangaroo. He's a cranky kangaroo, but his whole house is workout. It was weird. I don't know. But I went over and talked to him and he's like, yeah, it's a party now that you're here. But, Stu could leave any time. Like, damn. Savage. Man. So, in my mind, I'm convinced that they slept together. And then Rooney was like, it's supposed to be a one-night stand. Get out of my house. And Stu was like, everything's so great.
But it's okay for them to sleep together, but it's not okay for Flick and CJ to sleep together.
Not as humans. Also,
But-
they have really like intense and very different personality types. I don't know. I just because like Flick is like really, really quiet and reserved and shy and awkward and like a punk kid, and CJ is like, "Ooh, I want to be famous. I'm a streamer and I'm a big shot.
Well,
Buy your fish."
you do know that if you have CJ make a model of a fish, that literally he gives it to Flick to make. He has said, "Hey,"
Flick is the one that makes them.
yeah, he has said in his dialogue of like, "Hey, I've got like my friend who's really into bugs does this, but he'll also do this." Plus, I saw a picture from the guidebook that said that CJ and Flick used to be roommates in college, and that's how they met.
And now they're husbands.
According to the fanfic drawings.
That fan drawing.
Yep.
They are husbands now.
Man, I haven't looked into much of the Animal Crossing fanfic stuff.
Probably
won't.
You just got to be on Twitter. It'll come to you.
It just pops up, yeah.
Animal Crossing Twitter is wild. That is true.
Okay, I want the cat with two different colored eyes. Raymond? Why do people hate Raymond? Raymond has a cool look, but I know there are people who strongly are like, Raymond is the devil, and I don't understand it.
I don't know.
Is it because like people want him? Is it because he has like a unique look? I don't. There are people who are like straight up like people are like, oh, I want to get rid of Pietro and stuff, and like the only person who you should be mean to is Raymond, and I'm like, why? He seems fine. I don't. There seems to be a lot of hatred towards Raymond. I don't understand it. I won't mind him. I don't know what personality he is, but he's got a cool look.
I feel like I'm gonna be stuck in a corner with like, I don't know, all my spots are gonna be full soon, and then I'm gonna be like,
he's smug.
I don't dislike any of my villagers necessarily, but I don't know. Like, there are probably ones that I will want, that I'll see around. But yeah. I don't know.
I know that if you get a camper, you can invite them and then like kick somebody off to make space for them. Mm-hmm. But if you have all your spots filled, if you go to Nook Miles things, you won't see anybody. So
the only campers I get are the minigame ones right now.
I've never interacted with anybody unless I'm like, you seem like somebody I would want. I've not spoken to them more than once unless I want them on my island. So
what were you gonna say, Darian?
There's a hippo villager whose name is Hippo, spelled Hippeux.
So it's a French hippo?
There is a lazy rhino that like wears a really cute sweater that I want. Erin, actually, my girlfriend found him on a Nook Miles trip, and I'm like, I would like them. And then she's like, well, I wish I could like be like, hey, go to Endless Island. No, I don't.
Are you talking about Hornsby?
Yeah, Hornsby, I think it is. Yeah, he looks cute. I want him.
That's a good name too. Man.
Okay, well, anybody else have anything to say about Animal Crossing before we move on?
I can't believe Animal Crossing hour is already over.
Yep.
Hey, wait, can I see how many hours I put in the game now?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
What is your guess before you look?
At least 100.
Really? I don't think I put 100 in yet.
I'm pretty sure I'm at 120 last I looked.
Really? Oh, I gotta look. I would think like 60 something at most.
Are you even a real gamer? You're probably off playing Final Fantasy or some shit like that.
Yeah, I love Final Fantasy.
Oh, it says 125 hours or more.
Or more.
Wow.
What's the or more? What?
I mean, they're not going to give you a precise number.
Oh.
They're not going to say exactly 125.69.
They should.
It looks like they rounded up by fives.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got Stardew and played for 415 hours or more, which is a lie. That is not accurate at all.
Well, is it accurate to say that you have played more than Animal Crossing in the last amount of time that you've been on this podcast?
Yeah, I also played that really, really, really bad game called League of Legends.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Oh, actually, I've played a shit ton of Teamfight Tactics as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the normal league before we move into that? Because I feel like Matt will talk about that as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've just been playing some ranked games. They nerfed Jinx into the ground, so I've been a support main because that's my default. It's Jinx or some like aggressive support champion. It's been really fun. I was placed in bronze 1 for ranked, but now I've worked my way up to silver 3, which is super exciting.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, so hopefully won't be end of season before I get gold. Hopefully I can get it before the under the wire like I did last season. Last season it was literally the last game I could have possibly played for the season, and if I hadn't won, I wouldn't have gotten gold.
Oh. So in league rankings, so I've only played league through TFT. That's the only familiarity I have with it, but I think it's all the kind of same structure, right?
Yeah, as far as ranked goes, yeah, there's different divisions. I think there's 7 different divisions now, or 8?
And then they reward you for reaching the division, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the season.
Like if you win an emote or something through, you know, various plays and it's got a ranked plate on it, that plate will upgrade depending on what your best rank for that season was.
Okay.
What kind of food do you eat on the plate?
Spaghetti.
That's always fun to eat those on the ones with the cool designs, because then as you eat more, you're like, oh, it was a penguin.
What are you talking about?
It's like a puzzle. You're like putting it together. I got it. Okay.
It's exciting. Okay, Matt, you've been playing the spin-off.
Yeah, Darian just said it, but I've also been playing TFT, and it's the first time I played since it launched into like open beta or whatever I don't know, the existence before the first season, but I think I also played into the first season because I played ranked when that came out. And I almost made it to plat. Is platinum? Is that what comes after gold?
Yep.
Okay, so I almost made it to platinum. I was gold 1, and I could never get that 100 points or whatever I needed to get up a rank. But I just finished my rank games in the new current version of TFT, and I am Iron 2.
Is that bad?
Oh no.
That's the bottom, I'm pretty sure.
It's the lowest tier. It's really funny because it used to be bronze. It was bronze forever. And then last season they were like, well, there are actually some people who are worse than bronze. We're going to need to give you your own special category.
Now.
Well, that's really funny because when I played TFT ranked, I gave up before I finished my placements because I was being placed against other bronze players. And I was like, okay, well, I'm obviously not good at this. But like now when I'm playing just normal games, I'm being placed up against people who rank in the platinum. And I'm like, oh, I might be pretty good at this game now, actually. I like the galaxies a lot better than the original TFT. Like, I like the categories different, or their traits or whatever a lot more.
Yeah. So that was like super, I don't know, shocking when I went in. I was like, okay, this game's in space now. Also, what does any of this stuff mean? Like Star Guardian, Dark Star. It's like those all mean the same thing to me. Like if Celestial, any of those words on their own, I'm like, that's probably the same exact thing. And they're all like different traits.
Funny.
And all the heroes that I don't know are all mixed in, and the heroes I know look different because they're now all in like space armor.
Skins, yeah. See, I think maybe that's where I have the competitive edge. Is like I'm obsessed with skins. I did the math the other day because I was actually streaming with one of my other friends and we were playing ranked league together. And he goes, I went and I was like, oh yeah, I have to buy a couple of the new skins. And I did that really quick. And he's like, how many skins do you have? I have like 755 skins in the game, which is 75% of all of the skins in the game, and is valued at over $4,000.
Wow.
And at the same time, valued at $0.
It is, unless I were to try to sell my account, which I probably could. I have some really rare skins that you can't get anymore. I could probably sell my account for a lot, but I wouldn't ever do that because I love my skins.
You could say that you have skin in the game.
Yes.
Man, you're killing it,
Very
Bryce.
much skin in the game.
Thank you.
First the pasta puzzle plate.
So is that all the games that we wish to speak about?
Yeah, I want to get good at
I think
TFT
so.
again.
Hopefully next time I'm on the show, I will have been able to play Final Fantasy VII Remake and give you all the hot takes on that.
All right.
My roommate bought it, and we were going to divvy up time, figure out a schedule so that we could each play it and not take away from the other's playtime. But it just ended up working out in a way, like I closed on my house the Tuesday before it came out. And so I've been too busy getting my house ready for me to live in it. So I haven't had any time to play, and I'm really sad about it. But once we move and get the apartment cleaned up, I'm gonna basically, then I'm gonna go extinct for a little while. I'm just gonna don't bother me. I'll probably be streaming it actually, but
like I said, I've kind of starting to fall off Animal Crossing. I think I might just log in and do dailies and then do something else with my life. And I think I might try Final Fantasy VII. It's like I've seen a lot of people talk Final Fantasy VII. I'm seeing a lot of people talk Persona 5 Royale. I was like, both of those games seem like things I'd want to play, and so I'm trying to decide. I asked people how long Final Fantasy takes. I heard about 40 hours, so that's seeing as that one's supposed to be shorter, I might play that one, and then because Persona I think is like 100 hours or more, so the shorter one I'll probably go with. Well, that brings us to the news. Hey guys, are you guys excited for the PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm probably not going to buy it this year, but sure. I like video
gonna
game
buy
hardware.
every stimulus check I've gotten has gone into paying off more of my debt. So I will be able to get a PlayStation this year.
But we got our first, I guess, sort of look at the PlayStation 5 in the form of their controller, the DualSense, which actually I was thinking like all PlayStation controllers have been called the DualShock, but I guess that's not technically true. Like for one, the first PlayStation controller was called the 6-axis, and then they added Rumble, and then it became the DualShock. And then the OG ones, I don't even remember what those were called.
They're probably just called the PlayStation controller.
No, they had a name. I
DualShock?
watched the whole thing of like the transformation of each controller.
They didn't have sticks when they started.
Yeah, that they got a separate name when they became like the dual stick controller, and then when they added
DualShock?
No, see, when they added Rumble, it became DualShock. But before that, it was Dual something else. When
I guess I thought that they I don't know, you're right, and didn't have vibrations in the PlayStation 1.
But we are now on DualSense. So we got to look at the controller. Some of the things to note is that it is two-tone. The top part of it is white, and the kind of bottom part is black. Originally, I did not like the design of the controller, but the more I look at it, the more I'm kind of into it. The one thing I don't like is that the shape buttons don't have color to them. The triangle, circle, X, square.
Oh, I see.
They're just gray.
Oh no.
And I feel like that having those colors can be important. Of like, you know, they help give a color cue to what you should be.
And they're iconic.
Yeah, I mean that's, and I'll
They've
be curious.
had the same colors since day one. Why would Sony? Come on.
It is.
Come on, man.
It is a bit weird. I do
Be
like
cool.
the. I'm trying to think of.
I was looking at my controllers just then. They are colored on my.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's probably some like different variations, like secondary controllers that are gray.
Like third-party controllers?
This is
I
the
have
one.
the black and white, so this would be like the comparable PS4 one, I guess.
Yeah. But this one is the one that will come in the box. I'm sure there will be other ones that exist that'll have different variations, but this will be the one that you get in the box, which is probably an indication of the PlayStation 5 will probably be two-tone, will look similar.
Yeah, I don't know. The one they chose to showcase just looks like it forgot to put its pants on. Like that's all I can think about when I see it.
I don't like. I will say yes. Originally seeing it, I was like, but like the more I look at it, the more I'm kind of like, yeah, this kind of works. I like the blue lights around the touchpad. That the fact that it's kind of like wraps around looks cool. It would be nice if they kind of do that like they do the light bar. I don't know if they've said if this will have a light bar. I would assume it would because
in the top.
Yeah, at the top.
It doesn't look like it does, but it looks like that the touchpad has the gap under it. So
you're
looks
right.
Like...
I haven't actually seen the top of it. So does this mean, that actually begs a lot of questions, because if that doesn't have the light pad, then how is PlayStation VR going to work? Because PlayStation VR uses the light on, that's why PlayStation 4 controllers have the light, is to work with PlayStation VR, PlayStation Move stuff. Without that light, then, Wait,
you're talking about the light that glows at the top of the controller?
Yes, that's for PlayStation VR stuff. Like it does things in other games just because it has it, but like it works so that it can track a controller for VR or for that stuff. So does that mean it? I would hope that we have another PlayStation VR thing on the PlayStation 5. Like PlayStation VR has been one of the most successful VR headsets.
I think they've said that a revision's coming, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if
or
I've
is that
seen
just generally accepted rumor? Like, of course they're going to continue.
But if they don't have that light, that means the way they're going to track would be different, which would actually be good, because like the way that they decided to track PlayStation VR is like, why? Why would you just try looking for a light? Why don't you use AR or something else? But
it also looks like the light bar might, like the shot they got just has it on the two sides, but it kind of looks like a strip that goes under it, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, there is a gap there, but I don't think that's enough to be able to track. Like if you compare that to the amount of light that a PlayStation 4 controller can put off, it's way different. So I guess that's. Until seeing this side image, I had just assumed it had that light bar, but no, it does not. It has a plug there, which is very, very interesting. We'll see how that goes. But some other things to note about it are it does not have any words on it. For the menu button, you have those 3 lines, which I think a lot of designers refer to as the like hamburger.
Mm-hmm. Hamburger.
Which I saw somebody on Twitter complaining about, like, how am I supposed to tell people what that means? And it's like, if you look there, you have probably seen that button for the menu thousands of times. Literally, my browser has it in the top corner.
Any app has it, yeah.
You've probably seen it a bunch and used it a bunch without noticing it. But they did replace the share button. I mean, it's still the same button pretty much, but it's called the create button, and instead of having the words create, it has 3 dashes.
It looks like it's making noise. It's like cartoon noise.
Yeah. I've heard it called the fries. Like you've got the hamburger and the fries.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah, so it sounds like
That's terrible.
I love French fries.
So in the PlayStation blog, they said, for the buttons, you'll notice there's no longer the share button as we had on the DualShock 4. Don't worry, it's not going away. In fact, it'll build upon the success of our industry-first share button to bring you a new Create button feature. With Create, we'll once again pioneering new ways for players to create epic gameplay content to share with the world or to enjoy for themselves. We'll have more details on this feature as we get closer to launch. So, it should be noted that the DualSense also adds a built-in microphone array, which will allow players to be able to chat without a headset. It won't ideal for jumping into quick conversation. It's not something you'll want to use for a long period, but it is something you could literally be like, "Hey, I'm here," or something. So that's interesting. I would not be surprised if there are games that use this. I think it can be handy to know that your players are always going to have a microphone attached in some way.
It can make the possible like interactivity with like in-game pets a thing.
They did that with like the speaker on the PS4 controller.
Yeah,
right. Like all the controllers have a speaker, and I always turn that off because it was like, "What the hell? Like, where is this noise coming from?"
Yeah,
and
well,
then I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, there wasn't too many games who use that. So for the longest time, I forgot it had one until I was playing Kingdom Hearts, and suddenly, like, the game had not used it until this one scene where I was hearing audio come out from somewhere different. I'm like, "What? It's coming from the controller." It was really cool. It kind of like pulled me in. So it's cool when they use it in unexpected ways. And I do think like PT, there was supposed to be the thing in PT where you had to have
cries out of it.
Well, you had to have a headset plugged in and say something. They to be able to trigger one of the things.
Okay, yeah.
So this would be a thing that like, hey, we know you'll have something to be able to talk.
I can't remember which Mario Party it was, but it was one of the GameCube ones where they had like the microphone controller attachment where it's like a little stick with the microphone that you plugged in to do some of the mini games. Anyone out there know? No.
Mario Party 6 apparently.
Wow.
So as for the default white and black, not really a fan of that, but right after that was announced, I saw so many mock-ups of different colors and different variations, and like pretty much any other color looks dope as shit. Like
it's smart. It looks like the Xbox One, right, where you can do the custom colors. Like if they don't do that, that's silly.
I do prefer like a full black or something, but honestly, like the more I look at the controller, the more I'm like, this isn't bad. I probably will pick a different color for my main controller, but I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. And I'm actually curious because as far as I can tell, there is no words on the controller. Is this going to make it easier for them to make a controller to use for everybody? To, take to Japan, to take to Europe. They don't need to make different molds and stuff for people, which might make it easier for people to get, a Persona controller that would only be released in Japan, but now they don't need to make a special one because there's no words on it.
I wonder also if they're going to do, like you were saying earlier, you're like, this begs the question, is the box going to be black and white, or presumably it will be. I wonder if they're going to take a nod from like the Joy-Con, where it's like, okay, you have your black version, you have your black and white version, you have a color, the gray classic PlayStation look, and like if you get a choice, or if even just the controller would have that kind of pack-in choice.
I would assume that the default will have the basic one, but that I think actually brings us into our next news story, where one of the reasons we might not see too many options for what kind of controller or what kind of PlayStation we're going to get is because we might see fewer PlayStation 5s at launch.
That's right. Sony is projecting that they're only going to make 5 to 6 million PlayStation 5s. This is according to Polygon, according to Sony. So the PS4 looks like it sold about 7.5 million of the PlayStation 4 in the first 6 months, and they're not going to be able to hit that number, mostly due to coronavirus related production issues, it seems.
Well, no, I thought this article actually states that they don't say this is from
They didn't say that?
Where
they
the
said
second paragraph
that
it
it's
says
not because
which
of...
isn't influenced by the COVID-19 global
Oh,
pandemic.
it's only affecting their promotional plans. Okay.
Yeah, it says that the guts of the machine are just so expensive and rare that it's making it's going to cost more than they think, and thus it's harder for them to get the parts.
I see. I read that, or I skipped over that part, I guess. Yeah, so they're looking at a price point of $499 to $549, which I don't know. That's kind of, I guess $499 is the highest I think you can reasonably go and expect people to just like come out in waves to buy it. Like I think once you break 500, that starts to become like enthusiast territory.
I mean, I also think that due to the world that this is going to come out in, it's going to be kind of a unique scenario that maybe not a lot of people would buy it at a lower, like only certain people are going to be able to afford this due to just the way the world is. So
right,
not having a lot of them at launch maybe won't be that big a deal.
Yeah, I heard it kind of referenced as like, you know, Nintendo does that when they launch, right? They always seem to be in short supply and then they catch up, 6 months down the road, but they like want to make sure they're going to sell through what they do make and then kind of...
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't
think it's the end of the world by any means.
If they release and are the hot thing of like they make this a really cool thing that everybody wants, honestly the fact that it's hard to get almost becomes a selling point for them.
Right, that becomes like a big holiday demand. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's talking about it, everybody's chasing after it. It almost makes the news that you can't get your hands on it, like the Switch, because like a few people were able to get their hands on it. They showed it around, everybody wanted it, and then everybody talked to everybody like, oh, you got to get this. It's so hard to get. So if they can be the hot thing, that can help them, but I don't think they're doing this on purpose. It's just a matter of like the parts are hard to get. They're doing unique things with this device.
It's interesting because the last line is like, this Bloomberg sources say Sony will delay the PlayStation 5's launch only if Microsoft does the same for the Xbox Series X. So there's still like just this weird like both of them staring each other down. Nobody's moving. Nobody's saying anything.
They're both trying to exude big dick energy.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Sony's
you step down.
Sony's definitely a little bit more cautious about it. They haven't released a price. They haven't. We don't have a price on Xbox either, but we haven't seen the device on PlayStation.
Right.
So
I think Sony's got way more to lose just in general.
They're holding their cards closer to their chest, to maybe seeing of like, hey, depending on how things go, maybe we do change things. Because if they delay it, they might have that option. But I think unless things go a certain way, they're gonna release as normal. Nothing's gonna change, and I don't think that's the worst thing for them. Like I think it'll work out as long as their device is as good as they are trying to make it. I've talked about on past shows of like when they did the GDC-esque talking about the architecture and stuff, it does seem like they're doing really cool stuff with the PlayStation 5 of literally like zero load times, smaller games. Like these are cool selling points.
I can't wait to play God of War 5 with no load times. Oh my God.
Like I said when they did that, like it'll be curious how games are made, because like some things you learn through the load times of like they'll show you things of like, hey, you just lost that fight, maybe you should try hitting them in the nuts next time.
Yeah, hit them with a different weapon type.
Yeah, but this time like there won't be load time, so just I don't know, they'll do something different, I guess.
Oh my God, wait, are they gonna port Skyrim onto the PS5 but with no load times?
I
bet.
I hope not.
That would change the fucking game.
I bet.
Well, you know what would also change the game? Free video games. And PlayStation is making that happen between April 15th and May 5th. They are trying to encourage gamers to stay at home and play their video games. What?
I think their target audience is a little flawed. Like, that's what gamers want to do already.
Well,
Like, they have the right energy, right? They have the right idea.
I mean, maybe you've got gamers who are like somewhat gamers, but they don't have a game to play, and so Sony's like, hey, here's some games to play. So they're giving everybody the Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, which includes Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, Uncharted 3, Drake's Deception. And they're also
those the first 3 games?
Yeah, Uncharted 1 through 3.
Yeah. And they're also giving them the indie darling Journey, which if you're watching the video version, that's my background.
Whoa. If you have PS Plus,
yeah,
you can also get Uncharted 4, so you can really complete the mainline Uncharted collection there for free.
It is weird that the Nathan Drake collection doesn't include the last game, but I think that
it must have launched prior.
I think that came out before 4. It was kind of a like, hey, play all these games, get caught up on the story before 4 comes out, because obviously 4 includes.
It's a marketing scheme. They're like, we'll give you the first 3 Uncharted games for free, and then you have to buy the last one to see how the story ends.
Yeah, but. So I've gotten I know I own the Nathan Drake collection, I think on disc, but I know I have Journey through PlayStation Plus. And so I don't know if I can claim this because I know you can't buy a game that you got through PlayStation Plus while you still have PlayStation Plus, because as long as you're subscribed to PlayStation Plus, it's free. But then these are supposed to be free indefinitely. So I haven't attempted it, but it's kind of a weird thing of like, it seems like if you already have it, you can't get it again. I'll have to test it out, but right now I'm not sure if that applies. But if you don't have these games, go get them. Just they're great games. Journey can be played in a sitting. It should be played in a sitting. It's a really cute game, and Nathan Drake collection is one of the like best PlayStation series that exists. Do you guys remember G4 TV?
Hell yeah, I do. I used to watch that at my friend's house because I didn't have cable.
Was G4 TV before your day, Darian? You don't know Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb?
Nope, none of that sounds familiar to me.
God, who is the people on Attack of the Show? I know one of them has gone on to become a movie star. Olivia Munn. She was on Attack of the Show.
Oh, I know that name.
Yeah, Olivia Munn has been in Transformers and stuff, but she used to talk about entertainment and video games on
X-Play.
Yeah, no, she was.
That was Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Yeah, that was Attack of the Show came after X-Play. X-Play was video game reviews and discussion stuff, mostly video game reviews. They were really cool. Like Adam Sessler has gone on to do some really cool stuff. Morgan Webb pops up once in a while at some things, but I definitely see more. Adam Sessler's definitely got like a cool like video game veteran vibe to him. He actually, I saw a picture of him when that whole like me at 20 was going around.
Oh.
It showed him like, I think he was at G4 TV, and then it shows him now with like an epic beard, like a Gandalf beard. And I was like, man, Adam Sessler's just had a life.
Man, yeah, in the pre and early YouTube days,
yeah,
you got your video game trailers through G4 TV.
Back when people watched cable. And G4 TV could have become something so cool, but then I hate it. Like
Spike bought it, right?
Yeah, I remember
Spike.
At some
I don't
point,
know how
like
that...
it slowly just started becoming like they started showing cops, and then like I guess that did well, so they kept showing more and more cops until it just became the cops channel. And I was like, this isn't good.
That's like the natural progression of every television channel.
It kind of seems like it. But what if something like that came back in the form of VENN, the Video Game and Entertainment News Network? There is VENN is trying to basically become today's G4 TV, where they're hoping to use Twitch and YouTube stars to make similar content and capture that kind of audience. They're saying that like they want to be the reason G4 TV failed was because it came too early, and there's a case to be made that maybe. Like, I also don't think that, like, maybe cable's the best model. Maybe we're the YouTube and Twitch stars are doing it where they should be.
Yeah.
I have seen YouTube and Twitch stars playing video games on Disney. There's, like, a show where they'll do, like, Let's Plays on the Disney Channel.
Yeah. Disney XP or something like that.
Something like, it's...
Yeah.
Like,
Or
there's...
DX or something, yeah.
I think, like... traditional media has no idea what's going on, and they're just trying to like grab reins of something, but it's like I don't know how those Disney shows are doing. I just find the whole thing kind of weird, especially because some of the people they pick to be like traditionally your top YouTube or Twitch star kind of sucks.
I mean, I don't know if that's true. They built an audience for something, you know?
Yeah, because everyone who built an audience doesn't suck. I mean,
that's fair. There's all
there's
sorts of
There's
audiences
some
out
real
there.
shitters out there.
Yeah, so by having an extreme personality, it might make it easier to get people to gravitate towards
but
you.
also you're not gonna. I don't know. That's not the kind of thing that makes it to a network TV status, you know.
I mean,
and I guess
I bet
cable
Ninja would
TV
sell
isn't
out to
network
Disney.
TV, but
yeah, they might not like air the problematic stuff, but there's still problematic people who might appear there before they realize what's going on. Like PewDiePie, I think had a Disney a contract with Disney until he said some stuff, and then that went away. But yeah, so VENN's out here trying to bring back the G4 TV days. We'll see how that goes. But
it's I don't know. It's weird because like it's the same thing as like who is your audience? Like Google Stadia. Who is your audience?
yeah,
Right? Because everybody that wants that thing knows how to get that thing already at a platform like YouTube, right? Or Twitch.
Okay. The only audience I could really think of is mothers for their kids or parents for their kids of like, or like, hey, I know that you like video games. I don't understand how this YouTube thing works, but here's this TV channel that seems to have video games on it. Watch this.
That I feel like that demographic doesn't even exist at this point. It's got to be so small. Like parents know how to use YouTube at this point. And they know, or, you know, they know that YouTube Kids or Netflix Kids exists and they can just throw that up if they need to.
Yeah, it's a weird world. Like if VENN is existing on both YouTube on traditional cable and YouTube, that might be fine because like Saturday Night Live and Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, they like have cable programs, but they also put up their stuff on YouTube as like a secondary source. That might work for this type of thing.
Yeah.
But you need to have a team that knows exactly what they're doing to even have a shot at this. And you need to have unique content. If you are trying to ape the exact same thing you're going to see on YouTube or Twitch, people are just going to go to YouTube and Twitch and see it. They have no reason to come to you. If you're going to do something really well produced, if you're going to throw a budget at this, then you might do it. Because that's the thing YouTube and Twitch doesn't have. Is a good budget to make some like G4T. Like I love the skits that they did for X-Play. Those are really cool. They had a decent budget behind it, and if they do that, this could be something. But if you're just going to try and say, hey, Matt, name a popular Twitch streamer.
Summit 1G.
Yeah. Hey, Summit, why don't you just play Fortnite on the cable for
Valorant. He's playing Valorant now.
Play Valorant on cable for an hour, and that'll be the thing.
But you can't swear.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
You can't smoke weed. You can't swear.
Yeah.
You can't drink. Our brand sponsors won't like that. Make sure to take down that poster in the background.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I would love for this to succeed. I want more big budget video game things to exist. It sucks to see things like Game Informer and more proper big budget game industry things to fade away, and it just being these small scrappy people. Like I want it all to exist. But
yeah,
it's a weird world.
I think you got to get like people that understand that market though. Like if you think of game trailers, who's that? Brandon Jones, like they used to have a similar kind of content to that. Which they're now easy allies, but when it was game trailers before, whatever happened with them, I think they were bought out by a corporation and then shut down. You got to get like Jeff Keighley on board. Like he would be the one to produce. Like he's always trying to get the Game Awards right as like a produced television thing. Like
that's fair.
You need those minds involved, right, to actually get, because they understand the bigger like media space and like how do you get deals for something like TV? How do you keep content appropriate for that? And like, I don't know. I think when it's so easy for anyone to hit like, upload on YouTube or go live on Twitch, and the content doesn't have to meet the approval of 5 different departments or companies. Like, I don't know. It's a tough task.
Well, you know what's easy task? Playing Chex Quest in the year 2020. Yes, you probably remember the old pack-in game from the Chex cereal.
No,
Chex
Bryce,
Quest.
it's just you.
It's me.
I don't
played
remember
it.
this game.
It is one
You're
of the
the only
few.
one who remembers
It
that
is the
game.
only first-person shooter I think I have played to completion. I've played Resistance. There's very few. It was the first-person shooter I played to completion. So if you don't know, Chex Quest is a reskin of the original Doom, except they made it non-violent. You don't kill anyone. You just transport them. And you play as a Chex soldier fighting the evil slime to save the nutritional goodness and the soldiers of the scientists at the Chex laboratory. And yeah, it's a very cool game. I enjoyed it. It came packed in with Chex cereal. And it is so well loved, and I think maybe because it was one of people's first game, or just it was a cool thing. Like you were eating your Chex cereal, and suddenly you're playing this cool, unique game. Well, it's coming back. Fans have developed Chex Quest HD, which is a remake of the classic shooter in HD. But not only that, you are going to be able to purchase a collector's edition from Limited Run Games for $150, which will include things like, so it'll come in a cereal box. It'll come with a Chex Quest poster, some pins, some intergalactic bravery medal coins, a t-shirt, a replica Zoicher, a Chex warrior statue. The game comes on a USB drive that looks like a floppy disk. It's all very, very good. And the reason I have come to you with this news story is, should I buy this?
It doesn't come with cereal?
No, it comes with it comes in a box, but I don't think it includes Chex cereal.
It should, in fact, include a free complimentary box, or at least a coupon for a free complimentary box of Chex cereal.
Absolutely. At that price tag.
I'm actually genuinely curious if, like, the Chex company gave permission for this. You would assume so because it does say the words Chex on it, but like
I was gonna say, I thought it was weird when they spelled Chex with a KS instead of an X.
But like this was a fan made game, and the game will be free to download. You can just go play it if you want. But if you want all the goodies and stuff, that is part of this $150 collector's edition.
I wonder how large the team was.
I mean, it was fans, so probably whoever.
Yeah.
I think with most fan projects, it's like, hey, I'll help out for a little bit, and then now I'm gonna go do something else, and they passed on the work. And
Plural fans might be 2 people though.
yeah, sometimes. And I'd be curious to like what did they have to do to make this happen? But I told you guys earlier that I kind of want an office and also studio right now. Because right now this isn't real. This is a green screen.
This sandy desert behind you.
But I would like in my office to have like on my back wall a bunch of shelves with cool like video game items in it, and it would be real cool to have the Chex Quest Zoicher on there. Should I buy this $150 collector's edition so I can get a Zoicher?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. It's
a starting weapon from Chex Quest.
It should have been a spoon.
I mean, there is a electric spoon weapon that you can get. That is an item. It's not the starting weapon. The thing is that like you couldn't kill them because that would be violent, so you're transporting them. So it's supposed to be like a little transporter thing that you're zapping them away.
Certainly, Chex Quest must be the end of all the top gaming news, right?
No, there's more.
Oh, there's more?
And
I can't believe it was such a big story like Chex Quest HD.
And perhaps we can talk about what kind of labeling video games will have. Maybe not Chex Quest HD won't apply for this new label, but there's other games that do.
Yeah. So the ESRB, the electronic something ratings board, software, entertainment software ratings board.
Uh-huh.
Rating singular, not plural. Apparently they only do one. They finally decided to note when games include in-game purchases that include random items.
Loot boxes.
In a world where loot boxes are becoming fewer and far between, they've decided now's the time. Nobody's really making money on loot boxes anymore. Everyone's making money on battle passes and season passes. So now we'll market.
I mean, typically you'll get both. I think most games that have battle passes also have some form of loot crate type thing as well. Does Fortnite still do loot crates? I know like Overwatch still has.
Fortnite only ever did the random stuff in the Save the World mode.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise they just did the buy from the store directly what you're getting.
Is Valorant Battle Pass? Are they anything at this point?
I believe they have cosmetics. I believe
Riot's
it's a battle
really
pass.
good about not releasing battle passes too early. Like TFT just got its, I think, second battle pass, and Riot didn't put the battle pass into League for a few months after that trend started, and now they do occasional battle passes. So I imagine Valorant will get a battle pass around the same time they start their official like ranked season, whenever that is.
Yeah, but League of Legends has obviously had loot crates for a long time before battle passes existed.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. League did have loot crates, but the cool thing about a lot of times Riot does stuff, at least in League of Legends and Teamfight Tactics, where you can earn those that loot without paying money as well. Like you can get chests and key fragments and stuff without paying anything. You get it for playing well, basically, or if you're playing with a friend who plays well.
So games like I can think of Overwatch is a good example. All of theirs are loot box based. So they also have the XP based boxes though, like the more you play, you unlock them for free anyway, but if you purchase them, they're random. So any game like that where it's a randomized thing, it'll just be marked on the ESRB label like rated T for teen, includes random purchase items. But yeah, I was saying, I think those are generally kind of like they might exist like in League they exist to some extent, or in Rocket League I think they might still do chests, but like battle passes have seemingly largely kind of become the standard, where there's a free tier and then like a paid tier for the season, and you unlock both tiers, and if you've paid for it you get all the loot. If you haven't paid, you only get the free stuff, and that seems to be
I do like that they are telling parents, because obviously this is what these ratings are meant for, is to inform the parents who might not be knowledgeable of the games what they can expect from it. I do like that they're going, hey, this game's going to have in-game purchases. I don't know if your parent, like a parent is going to register includes random items as anything to care about. But I do think they're going, wait, this is going to cost money. Like, that's probably going to be the thing that would stop them before the random items. Cause,
I mean, it's funny because it's under the in-game purchases label. So it's like parentheses includes random items. So it's like everything already has an in-game purchases label at this point. You know, like,
I mean, there's things that don't.
Okay, most online games include in-game purchases.
Yeah, I mean, but there's things that you would think wouldn't. I mean, what is it? The Lord of the Rings game. That was one of the ones that had the really bad, like you could buy orcs and stuff with that.
Shadow of Mordor.
I think it's Shadow War or something. Yeah, that one. Like you would go like, this isn't gonna have anything, and then it did, and it made the end game process harder because you need to have the very best orcs, or sit there and grind for hours and hours and hours and hours to do it, to see the true ending. So there are times that, you know, there will be online purchase, or there will be purchases in a single player game. So it's good to have that information, and I'm sure there are. I would hope as more younger people, like as the generations, you know, like our generation has kids, we will know what this stuff means. We will understand video games enough to know that. Though I also know people my age and younger than me who don't really play games, who don't know shit about any of this. So just because we know it doesn't mean that everyone our age like will know it. So having this information is good, but also I'd be curious if I showed one of my coworkers that label, if they would know, hey, this means this. But it's a step in the right direction. It's good that they're indicating it. Mm-hmm. Hey, Darian, does the next game you're going to tell us have loot crates in them?
No. I mean, I don't think so. I suppose it could be, but I think it'd be a little bit weird.
It would just be a crate full of spooks.
Of just dead bodies.
Yep. Oh. What is it?
Wow, what a prize.
You can unlock different dead bodies. Okay, so we got the first trailer for the Dark Pictures Little Hope, which is the second game in the Dark Pictures anthology. The last one we got was The Man of Medan, which was a pretty big hit. It's a really, really good horror game. And they've released the trailer for the next one, which is the Dark Pictures Little Hope. It takes place in early America, and it covers kind of like the witch trials and things like that, which will be really cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. The trailer was pretty enticing.
I started the trailer and they were like, so you have already experienced The Man of Medan, you know about it, and I just turned it off because I was like, I have not experienced
Bryce
The Man of Medan.
Bryce was convinced they were going to do a spoiler, but they're like different stories.
Well, I mean, it is an anthology,
but is there a through line?
There must be.
So the premise is that the curator, who's like the old guy who's in his like office or whatever, he's like narrating these stories for you, right? So the first one is one of his books, and then he puts it on his shelf, and he pulls out the next book, and he's like, "This one is Little Hope," and which is the name of the town, I guess, that it takes place in. And I'm sure that there's going to be elements that allude to the previous game, but it's like a standalone story.
There probably will be connections or something. I'll be curious.
I'm sure, like lore wise, I bet there's like similar horror shit going on. But
it would be curious if like it detected that you had a save of the previous game on there and like maybe
I've heard games doing that before.
Yeah,
isn't this the same studio that made Until Dawn?
Yeah.
So is that curator character in Until Dawn that you just mentioned?
I don't think so.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think this series is supposed to be a series on its own. Like they're doing their own unique thing.
Oh.
I have Until Dawn.
I started it.
Wait,
I liked it.
That was she's.
Wait, yes, it is.
It is the same
It
guy.
is. Same guy.
According to this, it says the Dark Pictures Man of Medan. It's from 2018. It says the concept isn't explored enough in gaming, and these folks are about to pull it off. The first title in the docket is Man of Medan. Hold on.
Okay.
No, today's trailer introduces the curator. Oh no.
Okay.
Maybe it's not the same.
Because there's a character that very well, I feel like, could have been the curator in Until Dawn, but
he's just the weirdo.
Yeah, like the guy, like the doctor guy, right?
Yeah, the doctor. Yeah.
I played a decent amount of Until Dawn, and I tried so hard to finish it, but I'm such a pussy. I feel like in order to try to revisit that game, I'll have to be really, really high.
This brings us to the Patreon producers. Thank you, Patreon producers Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas, for making this podcast possible with your fungible donations at patreon.com/lastgeek. Did you know that you can be a Patreon producer and help produce this content by going to patreon.com/lastgeek and helping support the show? For $5 a month, you will get a shout out each and every episode, like Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas. Yes, I said it twice, and that could be you too if you go to lastgeek.com/ no, not that one, the other one. You know, I said it already. This brings us to Teddy's Conversation Corner.
Woo! All right, that was a good segment.
Teddy's not here.
We decided that it's
his
always...
corner is in the void. We can't go there if if Teddy's not there.
No, it's
Tony's conversation corner now.
Tony's conversation.
Teddy's dead to us. It's Tony.
When he's not here, he becomes Tony. It's like this really creepy alter ego that he has. Also, why is it called Teddy's Conversation Corner?
Because one day while I was gone, Teddy
questions.
made a new segment, and it was called Teddy's Conversation Corner, and then I decided that's...
So that's a different... No. Tony... God, why do I keep
it's
calling
Tony's
Tony?
Conversation Corner now.
Teddy doesn't get to just swoop in and take the questions. If I'm on the show, those are mine.
Okay.
Teddy doesn't get that.
Darian, do you want to take us the questions, the comments?
Yeah, I do. I would love that. All right. Do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite Animal Crossing villager.
That's a good one.
Yep.
I like it.
Every time, forever now. That's all I care about.
Okay.
For us to read on the show. And the first question is asked by Me Man. He's one of my good friends. His username is Mexico Man. His question is, what did you spend most of your time on in Animal Crossing?
Like hours spent doing something, or what I've made a point to do, I guess.
I don't know. You can interpret the question however you want.
Because probably shaking trees or picking up sticks would be like the thing I've done the most. But the thing I've most dedicatedly done was build roads.
Religiously, every day. I gotta go shake those trees.
I don't think there's one thing that I've done a lot of. Like, I know there's people who like to fish a lot, and that's obviously a thing you can do a lot of, but like I don't care for the fishing. I'm more if I'm doing like I like bugs because you know what you're getting when you get a bug. Like you're not chasing down a deal of like, oh, that could be a cool bug. No, you know which bug you're going for. Chopping wood I've done a lot of, but you can only do so much of that. So really I just kind of like do a little bit of everything. I'll fish when I need to. But you do your dailies, you get your fossils, you hit
some
your rocks. You maybe shake some trees, chop some wood when you need it. Crafting. I probably crafted a lot. That sounds like a thing I would do.
Log into your Nook shopping terminal because I missed my streak one day and I got really upset.
Oh my god, like
that's awful.
Honestly, like 300 isn't really that much.
No, but I still got upset.
Yeah. Like I was hoping it would get up to like 1,000 or something significant, but nope,
yeah,
maxed out 300.
Awesome. It should get up to enough where you can just get a Nook Miles ticket every day.
Yep.
Because you're consistently playing. I should be rewarded that. I deserve that. Excuse me, Mr. Nook, I need your attention. I've been working my ass off making your fucking island paradise. Let me go visit other islands.
I've shared this video with the Dungeons and Dragons friends, but I have to send you. No, did I send you the Nook, the one about Nook being a crook, the music video?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You did.
Okay. I was like, yep.
That's something I want to see expanded in Animal Crossing.
About like, how shitty Tom Nook is?
No, well, I guess
no, he's
in
a
a
good
way.
person. Leave him alone.
In the original game, he sucked. He was a rude man.
He used to be, but he's also been slighted. Do you know his backstory?
I know
Red the Fox was like his old business partner, and he swindled him out of millions.
I know that
Millions of bells.
Him and Mabel, one of those sisters, I think are have a thing with Tom Nook.
I think it's Sable that does.
One of them.
Sable's the oldest.
What have you been spending your time on in Animal Crossing?
Collecting as much furniture and like little accessories to put in my house as possible, and then dreading the fact that I don't have anything to put it on. Like I have a lot of kitchen accessories.
Yeah.
But no countertops.
Yeah.
So I haven't made my kitchen yet because it's like I have everything I could possibly need to have a fucking dream kitchen, but nothing to put it on at all. I'm not just going to put all my expensive appliances on the floor.
I use so many cardboard boxes.
Wow.
And
I don't use the cardboard boxes for anything.
Just start putting stuff on them.
I used them when I was in the tent, but as soon as I like a day or so into having a house, I was like, okay, that time in my life is gone.
Time to upgrade. Stop living like a bachelor.
Yeah. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with some of my rooms because I have my main room, which I got like the cloud flooring, and I'm like, man, this is my cloud room now. And there's not really like when I just had that room, it was just like, this is where all of my things are. Mm-hmm. And slowly I've been like pulling stuff out of that room. And now there's just like the cloud flooring, my workbench, and like a chair. But like I have a really cozy bedroom, and I'm kind of like, I'm trying to collect every single KK song and put it in my office. And then, but like the rest of the house, I have no idea what I'm going to do with. So I have been paying off my house loan. Maybe that's the thing to say that I've done the most.
Yeah, you reached your final payment. Yeah, I'm nowhere close to that.
You got to do that.
Left.
You got to rock that turnip market. Like
I've been investing into like bridges and inclines a lot.
See, I've been waiting.
I have like
on
8
that.
of those combined.
I was like, I'm gonna pay off all my house, then I'm gonna worry about redoing the rest of the island. So that's where I'm sitting.
Yeah, it's funny that Bryce mentions his cloud room because I just keep thinking about how cool my house is, except for like one of my rooms. Like all of my rooms have really cool themes, except for the one that I just keep the turnips on the floor in. Like it's not. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but it's not quite as like a cohesive theme. It's just a bunch of cool shit that I put all together. When I get my basement, I have these cute like gothic mirrors and like a tarot deck set and stuff, and I'm gonna make it super like
Summoning
mystical,
circle.
like witchy bullshit.
My basement room is my turnip room, and I did theme it around that. It's like the wallpaper and the flooring are kind of like look like a field. So it's
cool.
like the turnips are in the field.
I love that.
So I've had people think that you can't pick up turnips, but you can't pick up things in other people's houses. So if it's set elsewhere, because I was trying to give somebody my rotten turnip, and they were like, "Oh, you can't pick up turnips." So like, yeah, you can. It's just as long as they're not in somebody's house.
Right, like you can't place things in other people's houses either.
Yeah, but yeah, turnips aren't. You can give other people turnips just as long as they're not in their house. So
right.
So don't leave them out in a field.
Yeah. So if you've got your shit in your house, is like your turnips are protected. When I see people's that just have them out in a field, I'm like, you better trust the people that come visit.
Put a fence around them, I guess.
Yeah, because
that's a lot of people have been like blocking off part of their island before letting people come in, like specifically only giving them like a path to Nook's Cranny or whatever to do turnip exchanges, and like just really like laying in on the you're not touching any of my shit.
It's crazy.
What a great game.
Other questions?
No, the next question's from Dr. Dornsberry, and it's, what is your favorite KK song?
Ooh, it depends on the room I'm in. Like in my crafting room, my like little workspace, I have a little, workshop area. I got KK Groove going, so every time I step in there, it's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling this. I'm ready to do some work. In my study, I don't have a music player yet, but it's gonna be something a little more slow, like KK Waltz or something like that. And my generic one, I go between KK Gumbo and KK Blues.
KK Blues, it's got like a it's Big Bird, Sesame Street. It's
Street.
It's got a Sesame Street vibe to it. There's like one little part of it that makes me go like, "Welcome to Sesame Street." And I'm like, I know that's not what it's like, slightly off, but I'm like, it just gives me that vibe. I think I usually keep my main room tuned to Cherry Blossoms. That's a sick song. I also like 2 Days Ago. That was a cool one. Forest Life. I heard that one recently, and that one's also very good.
Are those all the new ones in this game?
I would have no way of knowing.
Oh, because just like most of them have KK before whatever it is.
D, what's your...
Yeah, what are your favorite songs?
I don't even know if it's... I mean, it's got to be technically a KK song, right? Bubblegum KK is my favorite.
Oh, okay, Bubblegum. Yeah, Bubblegum's pretty good.
Yeah.
So cute. But also I really like KK Metal, but just because I love all of the videos of people's random villagers just like going in on that song. I just love that.
Okay.
The next question is from your favorite villager.
Oh.
Just convenient. It's, who is your favorite Animal Crossing villager currently living in your town?
It's got to be Agnes, I guess. I don't know. I really like Vic. And then like Rudy's an OG, so I like Rudy. He's got a special place in my heart. And then Elmer. Elmer's just a cool guy. Everyone else
have a lot of really good ones.
He's just
everyone
naming
else
all
is like whatever. No, everyone else is like B tier, except for Megan. She's the worst. She's just weird. She's like this giant purple bear.
She's your
she's kind of a creep. Yeah, but she's like way better than that, I guess. Like I'd keep her around.
I have Pytro is a smug villager, but then I have I keep blanking on his name, but he's the smug villager I picked out. And I've had both of them say the exact same line to me. It was like, my furniture is always telling people about me. Furniture, stop telling my secrets. And when Pytro said it, it was like, Furniture, stop telling my secrets. Like it felt like really like creepy. Like he was like hearing whispers in his head. Whereas the other one was like, oh, Furniture, stop telling my secrets. Like a cute like, you know, I'm trying to seem cooler than I am, and just because Pytra just seems like a psychopath. Like I'm just gonna wake up one morning and Pytra is gonna be standing over my bed.
Do you look out your windows ever? Pytra's just like standing there in the rain.
Oh my god.
My favorite villager is a little frog named Prince, and he is a lazy personality, and he has the best. So he it's so great because like I think all lazy ones will have these kind of lines of like when they give you a do-it-yourself recipe, they'll be like, the bugs whispered this to me in my sleep, and it's like it's really good because he's a frog, so it's cool that he's got like this relationship with the bugs and stuff, because they'll talk about that a lot. But like the way clothes fits him, because he's so small, every freaking thing looks cute on him. Like I will go to Harv's Island because you can dress up the characters you bring to Harv's Island with the like stuff you have, and so I'll decide like what I'm going to give villagers, what outfits I'll give them after like trying them out in Harv's Island. And so I'll always do Prince last because everything looks good on him, man. And it's just like, do I do this? Do I do this? It's all great. He's Prince. He's the best. He's just so adorable. Darian's like looking.
She's just looking at
like,
villagers and has just the like, I want this villager look.
No, this is actually, I'm looking at Prince and I'm like, what's wrong with his face?
Oh no!
He's got a bigger head than his body, and
he looks like he has human lips.
No, are you looking at?
Yes, he does.
Oh, I like him, but yeah, he does look like he has like. I see what you're saying.
Are you? He's got the simple, really.
Yeah, so
it's
he's
just a
green,
line.
and then there's a dark green outline around, and then his mouth it's like it's the whole of a costume, and his human mouth is there.
I have puddles. You'd expect it to look coloring-wise more like puddles, I think.
I don't see what it. He looks like he has a similar mouth that like a villager could have.
He has like Homer Simpson mouth.
Yeah, so a human mouth instead of a frog mouth.
It literally all of the frogs seem to have the exact same similar mouths. There is a one frog that I think.
It's not just the mouth shape. It's the weird like
it's
skin,
the skin tone
circle around his mouth.
He's a perfect angel, and I will hear no.
He's trying so hard. He's like, no, Darian, don't ruin my favorite villager for me.
I cannot see anything wrong with this perfect angel.
I invited Cousteau, who's a French frog, to my island, and when he talks, it's horrifying. It's very creepy and unnerving because there's virtually like, because you know how you set your town tune or whatever. Mm-hmm. Mine is the Halloween theme song, and so it's really cute hearing it, and like creepy sometimes hearing it from different people. And from Cousteau, it was like somebody was striking the chords of like a hellish instrument of some kind. And I was like, this cannot be.
If you image search Cousteau Animal Crossing, the like fourth image is one that points out his mustache and says eyes, and then his eyes as ears. And it completely changes the look of the character, and now I can't unsee it.
For Cousteau?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It makes him look like a little giraffe or something.
Yeah. Ooh.
Do you guys
he's creepy.
Like, do you guys look up the characters on the like wiki before you take them in?
Never.
No.
I always do. I want to check their personality, make sure I'm not getting a bunch of doubles and stuff. But I'll also like check things like their their goals, their skills, mostly their skills and goals, because there was literally one who was dressed cool, who looked cool, but they said their goal was to be a police officer. And I was like, no.
Narc.
Oh, you're a pig? Get out of here.
Wow. Poor Agnes.
Though I will say there are rumors that we are going to get the coffee shop, because apparently there was a villager who like referenced Brewster, so they were like, "Is that coming in? Coming in a future?" Well, okay, that's just furniture.
Probably a DLC.
I mean, I would hope it's going to be an update, not like a paid thing, but be cool.
Yeah, I hope they update that game with some cool stuff.
Did you tell us what your favorite villager was?
Oh, I didn't know. I have a blue cow whose name is Stu. He's my favorite. He's lazy, and he also talks about the bugs, and it's really gross because his house has like a dirt floor.
Was he one of your 3 through 5th ones? 3 through 5?
The ones that I got from the islands.
Man, yeah. I like him.
I mean, you can get any of them from islands. You can get all, but you're like the ones after your original, but before your camper.
Yeah, when you build their houses and stuff for them.
Yeah, because like I said, with those ones, though, the boys will have dirt floors and the girls will have like cutesy, generic-y looking houses. So,
one of my 3 moved out. And then Maddie moved in.
Yeah.
To that. So now she has like a themed house.
Yeah. One of my 3 moved out to my girlfriend's, and then the person who replaced them had a themed house as well. So as long as they come after you have a camper, they will have a themed house.
So it's like almost encouraging you to like get rid of your.
Yeah. Yeah. It honestly, like, I almost wish I could get rid of my originals and then have them come back, which if you had their amiibo cards you could do, but just so that they could have a themed house.
Yeah. That stinks.
I guess like you could like figure out what their themed house would have and then just give them all the stuff for it and replace their stuff.
Are they gonna do a re-release of amiibo cards?
Okay, so Japan, it sounds like Japan has new printings of cards. UK has what sounds like in the official Nintendo shop. It sounds like the UK they're selling them, but it's old stock. So as far as we know, we have not heard that they are going to make more.
It's a real travesty.
I would hope so. I think they didn't know it was going to do as well as it did. I feel like they need, at this point, if they release an old franchise on the Switch, it's going to do good, because the Switch is a unique thing of like, hey, a lot of people are playing these games. Are playing on the Switch. They've heard of these games, and this is their chance to try them out. And you could sell them all the merch. This brings us to housekeeping. Did you know you can go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcasts on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as the video version on youtube.com/lastgeek. Also, if you like this show, please subscribe, rate, and review it on iTunes, Stitcher, and Podchaser. It's new. It's sexy. It's a place you can review podcasts.
Sounds fast.
It helps us grow and become more powerful.
Bryce, our arms could have combined on my view if you went wide.
Okay.
Because we're both wearing the same colored shirt. It would have been like lined up.
That's weird. I could have gone without noticing that we have the same shirt. That would have been fine. You should tell your friends to listen to this podcast. That's one of the best ways to help us grow. Like the reviews, if somebody comes upon our iTunes thing, they will go, this has good reviews, but they won't come upon us unless they know what to look for. So tell your friends to subscribe to Race at Gamecast. Also, other Last Geek stuff you should check out. Go to lastgeek.com/merch to get some awesome merch. Game Mate Corp hoodies, Last Geek hoodies, not probably hoodies. I don't know. There's lots of stuff there. There's Race at
There's
Gamecast.
hoodies.
There's posters. Ooh, I can actually design. What are those pouches that you wear around your waist?
Fanny pack.
Yeah, I can actually design fanny packs. Maybe I'll have a fanny pack up at some point.
Yeah. Yes, you should.
Also, check out the newest Game Make Corp episode where we made a Tiger King game. I remembered it.
Wow.
Have you
Congratulations.
seen Tiger King?
No,
I
I
have not.
haven't, and I feel there's a very good blooper regarding that. I'll send it your way. The latest Let's Play is still Nidhogg 2. I feel like that's factual. Yes, that is.
Is it anything like The Lion King?
No.
It's just like the Lion King. Except instead of Simba being a lion cub or tiger cub, it's the human guy. He's Simba.
Well, this brings us to the part where everybody says where they can be found, starting with Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt. You probably know that by now, though, from listening to this podcast. I can be found on the internet at Dilbert Pickled as, one word, Dilbert, like the comic guy, Pickled, like, a pickle, but with a D on the end. Yeah, I actually streamed on Twitch for the first time, really, a long time, really recently. So I think I'm going to do that some more. So Twitch and Twitter probably are the best places to find me.
Hell yeah.
How about you?
Hi, my name is Dexterity, DEXTERIDEE. I'm on Twitch and Twitter, and soon I will be on TikTok. I'm going to become an overnight TikTok sensation. Go ahead and follow me at Dexterity. I've already got a few followers on there, and I've never posted a video yet, and I'm pretty proud of that.
It's almost like they were not there because you posted videos and were maybe coming from a different source.
Well, I put it on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
I said, hey, I'm going to make TikToks, and then I had somebody ask for my username, and then a few people followed me.
You can follow me on Twitter at Last Geek, on Twitch at Last Geek Plays, at YouTube at Last Geek, Facebook.com/Last Geek, LastGeek.com, Last Geek Plays on Instagram, Last Geek Vids. I'll try and use that Twitter sometimes. I've been half using it. And that's probably all the handles that I need to say. This brings us to the end of the podcast. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace.